There we go. Okay. Folks, good evening. Mark Spencer from Ohio News and Weather. Just a quick severe weather update. I'm only going to spend about 5, maybe 10 minutes or so with this live update. Nothing happening right now across Ohio. We do have a tornado watch, as we just recently posted, in effect for pretty much the western, almost 2/3 of Ohio, pretty much along and west of I-71. That goes until 4 a.m. Thursday morning. Here's our line of severe weather across Indiana right now. I'm going to switch over here to our local radar out of Indianapolis, and there is a tornado on the ground north of Indianapolis, heading towards Fishers and Anderson. This is a really strong cell that is gradually heading towards Ohio. Really hard to say what's going to happen with that just yet. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We'll take a quick look at the models too in just a moment. A lot of severe wind gusts as well. It looks like some 70, maybe even some 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts in there as well. A lot of damage being reported as well across western Indiana as well. Going back to our other view here, you can see the extensive line of severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have some tornado warnings across the lower Ohio and mid-Mississippi Valley as well. Again, that's all pushing off to the east at a relatively fast pace. It is going to impact us here into the overnight hours. Now, gradually, this is going to weaken, but right now, we have a pretty unstable environment across much of western and especially southwestern Ohio. You guys had sun and we're in the 80s today, so a lot of warm air still in place. You're still in the mid to even upper 70s in a few spots across southwestern Ohio. This is going to continue to advect northeastward a little bit. So even up in northern Ohio, it's 61, 62 in the Cleveland area. This morning we were 20 degrees colder than that up there. And here we are. These are basically our highs so far for the day, just about. We're going to see some of that air continue to advect north and east a little bit over the next few hours or so. Along with that, a lot of wind shear aloft is going to come into play. Some really, really strong winds aloft. And we have this turning in the atmosphere as well, especially across southwestern Ohio. And that is going to be what favors that storm rotation. We won't say tornadoes per se, because storms can rotate and not produce a tornado, what we call a mesocyclone, but at the same time, the conditions are there, thus the tornado watch from the Storm Prediction Center. So real quick, I'm going to go click on the models here real fast. We're going to go back over to here, and let's actually go to the right view here. Here we go. All right, there's our model here, and you won't see me. I'm going to run this right here from the computer, so bear with me here. And here we are. This is coming up about 10 p.m. This is fairly accurate with what we're seeing right now, just a touch behind. But as we go through the evening, here's midnight. We have storms that pretty much run from the Toledo area down through Van Wert, Defiance, and into the eastern portion of Indiana. As we get towards 2 a.m., you can see this very robust line of storms here. Now I will get up and I will do some pointing here as well. So this runs from pretty much about Vermilion, Lorain, south and west towards Marion, and we're down into the Dayton area and Cincinnati. There are some embedded cells in here. So we have clusters of cells, if you will, along a very robust line. It's a bit messy, but some of these could spin. We could have some embedded supercells in there, kind of like what we're seeing across the Indianapolis area right now. That's an embedded supercell within a line. And we could see some of that with any of this. Models do their best to pick up on this, but this is kind of an oddball setup as we get later into the night. As we push towards 4 a.m., you can see this starts to break up gradually, but it's still quite robust. Even as we get towards 6 a.m., pretty much along the Ohio River from Wheeling, West Virginia, through the Parkersburg, Marietta area, even down towards Ironton and Huntington, West Virginia, getting in on some of that action as well, but not as robust. So as this continues to push to the east overnight, it will weaken. It's going to lose some of that energy. It's going to outrun it. It's going to gust out. It is still going to be windy with a lot of these storms as it pushes east of 71 overnight for sure. So east of 71, your biggest threat right now is the potential for damaging wind gusts. Whether or not that's widespread or isolated, I think it's still yet to be seen, but I would say it's going to be at least sporadic. As we get into your Thursday morning, maybe some showers behind all this across portions of northeastern and north central Ohio. And then as we get through the day on Thursday here and into the day on Thursday night and into the day on Friday, we're going to see even more rain and some thunder come up the Ohio River Valley. A lot of rain coming. We'll be discussing that here at another time, not right now with everything going on. I do want to click back over to the radar as well, just real quick, and see what else we may have going on here. And let's go ahead and transition to that. I am also going to pull up one other thing. Bear with me real quick here. Okay. Just want to view this real quick. Great. Okay. I'm doing my best to monitor the chat, and if I am on later, I'll do my best there as well. Yes, if you're asking about my son Evan, he is in bed, trying to get him as much sleep as possible here tonight. Usually he doesn't wake up with the storms, but you just never know. So I definitely want him to get some sleep. I wish I could get some sleep here tonight too. That would definitely be great. Anyhow, just make sure you stay with us here through the evening. We do have team coverage here that's going to help provide coverage throughout the night. It may not always be me. We do have a couple other people who are available to do live stream coverage as well. So if I go away, it's going to be because someone else is taking over, but we communicate all of that as well. I'm going to go back to this cell here across Indiana real quick. Just to the north and east now of Indiana. Still that tornado warning in effect there as well, and it looks like that tornado may still be on the ground. It is, yes, so still an observed tornado. Just going to zoom in right now. It's just exiting Noblesville and Fishers, moving towards LaPel and Anderson. It's all in Indiana right now. It is gradually making its way towards Ohio. You can see some decent rotation here. Not as good as what I've been watching this cell for a little bit. Not quite as good as it was when it was to the north and west of Indianapolis, but still some decent rotation here, but it is a little bit weaker than it was earlier. So this cell may eventually cycle around. It could gust out. A lot of things could change in the time it goes from here to when it finally gets towards Ohio. And you can see our eastern end of the map there. It's not even in Ohio yet. So we got a little bit of time on this, even though these storms are moving at a fairly decent clip. It's going to be a little bit of time before they get here. I know all of you are probably wondering, when is this going to hit my backyard? I want a minute by minute breakdown of what's going to happen and what to expect and exactly when, so I can plan for it. And boy, I wish I could give that to you guys, but you know, it's not quite like that. This event is in a way a little bit on the unique side, simply because we're dealing with a nocturnal threat, and we're also dealing with this stalled out front. I am going to go back to our other radar here just real quick. I kind of want to show you where this front is. It is not where it says it is on the map. This front has moved north. So fronts you see on the map only update about 4 times a day or so. I think it's every 3 or 6 hours. I don't remember off the top of my head. The front's actually pretty much up here. You see Toledo, where it's like 49, 50, 51 degrees. It's pretty much right along the Ohio-Michigan border right now. That's where our warm front is. That's why it's warmer over here. It does kind of jag it around a little bit across northeastern Ohio a touch, but we're dealing with dynamics having to come in after sunset. At the same time, up here, it's been fairly chilly across northern portions of Ohio much of the day. You got a little bit more of a stable atmosphere, especially towards the surface. So you have warm air overrunning cold air. So it kind of creates a bit of its own self-induced cap, if you will. So you can see these storms here coming into the Fort Wayne metro right now. These aren't quite as robust as they were earlier. A lot of the stronger storms, you can't see it behind our logo there, are now into lower Michigan. There's a severe thunderstorm warning up there, but a lot of it is now pretty much across central and then southwestern Indiana. So that's going to affect this area. We will see what this does here as it continues to move into a much more favorable environment now. Again, we are in the low 70s, Lima, 72, 73 right now. That's the warmest air there all day. So a lot more to work with here as this line of showers and storms pushes eastward. So we're going to see what happens with that, of course. Same with our line of showers and thunderstorms as well across the Indianapolis metro. We are going to continue to watch this tornado warning cell as it gradually tracks towards Ohio. This particular cell is moving to the north and east, but exactly, what happens as it gets closer to Ohio, we will just kind of have to wait and see on that right now. Can't put this big, long, extrapolated track on it. All that's fine and dandy, but that's static, and that storm is going to change quite a bit between now and later. So I know you all really want to have that exact, down to the minute, when's it going to be in my backyard? We can't do that yet. First off, that technology isn't there. But besides that, we're actually waiting on some things to continue to develop as well. So we will go ahead and continue to monitor all of this. Again, our team's been monitoring all of this all day, and we are still going to continue to monitor this here through the overnight hours as well. I'm going to give the chat one more quick check. Unfortunately, with the Facebook chat, which is really the only one I can check here, it likes to keep up with when you guys type, and I can't really go back too much and really look at what you said previously. It doesn't particularly like that. They keep changing that on me, so I do what I can. But definitely appreciate everybody joining us tonight and continuing to watch our page and everything like that. It is absolutely great. We do have an app, by the way, Ohio News and Weather. Let me point here, Ohio News and Weather, or you can search the letters ONW right here, down here, Google Play and the Apple App Store. Now, if you had a problem the other day on iOS, it was not showing up if you searched for it for a brief time. We have that rectified. It turned out to be an issue with our developer that just happened to coincide at that time. It was totally circumstantial, but it is working. You will get alerts pushed to your phone as soon as that tornado watch came out. I'm up here in Lorain County. I got the alert on the app. It was the first app to alert me, actually. And I have about 4 different apps on my phone that I have just for fun more than anything. Yeah, it is pretty quick. So you can give that a download, and if you like it, leave us a review as well. Again, I know you guys want timing and thoughts for my backyard and everything like that. It's really, really hard, but we did go over the model a moment ago. I'll go over it one more time with you guys, just one more time. I don't want you to put too much thought into exactly the timing on it. Models are guidance, they're not exact tools. So we don't want to get too wrapped up into the exact times that are being displayed here. So don't wrap too much around that, because typically, especially with these fast moving environments, we see that the model data usually lags behind. Again, a lot of you guys are asking, is it going to be bad here, here, and here? You're all in Eastern Ohio. I can't really speak for that, because we kind of have to watch and see what develops first. And some of this stuff continues to develop. You're going to see that here as I step through the model. So this is 10 p.m. on this particular model. Again, it lines up fairly well with what we have going on, except across the Indianapolis area. But as we kind of step through this, you can see these cells, especially across northwestern Ohio. This is midnight right now, folks. As we look at this particular model, Toledo down towards Defiance and Van Wert and into eastern Indiana, this is a really robust line. That's a pretty strong cell should it develop. That could definitely produce some very strong winds, maybe some large hail. Can't really speak for the tornado threat looking just at a simulated radar here on the model, and that continues to go down towards the south and west. This is probably going to happen before midnight. I think that right now where this is at, it is likely a little bit behind. We typically find that with models. As we get to 2 a.m., you can see we're now starting to get towards I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Doesn't always work. I can walk and chew gum. Reading and talking at the same time, not always. We're getting it towards the western side of the Cleveland Metro. Lorraine, we got Sandusky, and then we got Vermilion right there. A nice broken line of storms that goes pretty much all the way down towards the Cincinnati area. These could be embedded cells or clusters of cells as well. What we get with that typically are damaging winds and hail, but you know what? We could get some brief tornadoes from that as well. Best tornado threat is really Dayton down towards the Cincinnati area. It's really kind of that southwestern quadrant here of Ohio. So pretty much west of US 23, which from Columbus down towards Portsmouth is almost a straight line, and then pretty much along and south of Interstate 70. I think that's our best tornado threat, roughly. It could vary a little bit. Don't take that, for verbatim there. We could have a threat for tornadoes up into northwestern Ohio too. The threat is there. Whether or not they develop is a different story. That happens a lot. So let's step through this just a little bit more. Not quite to Columbus yet, but we're knocking on the door. This is about 2 a.m. 3, 4 a.m. Here we go. We're moving through Columbus. But look at this. Things are starting to break apart, but we still have some strong cells out here. First one we have, we'll start north right over Lorain and Lorain County, the western suburbs of Cleveland. We also have some stronger cells across east central Ohio and then across southern Ohio, right along the Ohio River, near Portsmouth, and then also I believe that's going to be near Chillicothe as well. Again, these could produce large hail, some damaging wind gusts. We still have a tornado threat at this time. This is about the end of our tornado watch at that point, but I would say the threat for tornadoes at this point in time starts to weaken. Again, I think this is a little bit behind by about an hour or so. So really that could be 3 a.m. where we're looking at here. As we continue to go through the morning hours here, early morning Thursday right here, we are at 6 a.m. So a line of storms from Wheeling, West Virginia, down through Marietta, Parkersburg, West Virginia, along the Ohio River, Ironton, Ohio, Huntington, West Virginia, and then points south and west into Kentucky. These storms here will probably contain an isolated damaging wind gust at this point. Without diving into the model even more, I'm not going to get into that right now. That's my best estimate right now. Heavy rain for sure, some isolated damaging wind gusts, otherwise gusty winds. Could still be strong storms, maybe not severe. I think at this point we've probably lost our hail threat and that tornado threat as well. We have to wait to see how some things develop as it pushes into western Ohio. Again, better environment there for intensification of some of these storms as well. Models try their best to handle this. This particular model does pretty well. Again, as we go through the morning here we are at 8 a.m. Still rain along the Ohio River, maybe some showers moving through across northeastern Ohio Thursday morning. We're going to get a brief break as we get later into the day. On Thursday, we're going to see more rain begin to develop, especially across southern Ohio into Thursday night. Again, additional rain develops, and into your day on Friday, we're going to see other rounds of rain and storms, and we're going to have a bunch of rain forthcoming as well over the next several days. We have some quite some rain on the way here, so we'll be dealing with some flooding as well. Just real quick, and then I'm gonna pop off here for just a brief break. We're gonna go back to Indiana real quick. They did issue a new tornado warning, so I just kind of wanted to show it to you guys. This particular tornado warning, it's the same storm near Anderson, Indiana. This is Indiana, but it is radar indicated. So that's telling me that the tornado may have potentially lifted. And we can see we have an 87-mile-an-hour wind gust there that was measured in LaPel, Indiana. That's really, really strong, folks. Really, really strong. Let's pull up some velocity data just real quick, and this is probably slightly better. I'm going to zoom super in, and yeah, so we still have rotation here, but again, a little bit weaker. Basically, this is our rotation right in here, and it's not bad. This storm could be cycling. It could be weakening. It could be transitioning to more of a linear segment. Very hard to say. Right now, the threat is still there, thus the tornado warning being issued. So again, we're going to watch this as it gradually does make its way towards Ohio. Can't really speculate whether or not it's going to be a tornadic storm as it gets here, but we will just have to kind of monitor it right now, and we will continue to do that here again throughout the evening hours. Someone asked, my bathroom's upstairs. I got a small laundry room downstairs in the middle of my townhome. Is that a safe place? I would say yes, if it's the centermost point of where you live, most interior room. That's ideally where you'd want to be. Of course, ideally you want to be below ground, but I think that's a best number 2. That's great. And again, I'm trying to look at some comments the best I can. Facebook does not like that all the time. So just kind of scrolling here. I am going to end this in just about a minute or so, folks. So just want you to know, if you're under the tornado watch, there's a threat for tornadoes. So if you're in Washington Courthouse, you're under a tornado watch, there's a threat for tornadoes. Don't really mess around with that sort of wording. So just something there. If you are going to fearmonger in my live chat, you will be banned from our page. So that's your only warning. If you're going to sit there and say that this is it and we're going to die, that's you can feel free to unfollow our page. You are not going to fearmonger in our page. We're not fearmongering here. We're just trying to keep you informed and up to date on the latest weather. If you're going to do that, you can go do that on somebody else's page and see if they will put up to it. So we're not trying to induce panic. We're just stating the facts right now, folks. That's all we're doing. That's all we need to do is state the facts. That's it. So please do not fearmonger in my chat. That's the only warning I'm going to give anybody. So that's just that. All right. So right now, we're going to end our live stream for now. We are going to continue to monitor that. Yes, we do have some brand new severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm going to cover them real quick. Right along the Indiana-Ohio border, they're warning this way out. They are 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail, what they call a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. The way I have this set up, that's why the yellow line has the thick black line around it, kind of as a visual for me. They're warning way out ahead of these storms because this particular cell right here is moving fairly quick. So they're trying to stay ahead of it as much as possible. We're going to continue to monitor this, and as things start to move in, we will start our live stream back up. So thank you for joining us for now. Stay with our page, download our free Ohio News and Weather app on your phone, and we'll be talking